So ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome to bring your beverages inside the India and also analyzes on other South Asian markets focusing on Sri Lanka and Nepal. Joining him on the panel this afternoon will be Mr. Rajesh Kapoor, the Vice President Business Development at Kundan Group with over 2 decades of experience in precious metal sales and market development. Let's hear it from Mr. Rajesh Kapoor as he joins us up here. Inviting up next, the business lead for ebullion Private Limited, Mr. Rajiv Ranjan, inviting him to join us on the stage. And our final panelist this afternoon is from Nippon, India, AMC, Mr. Vikram Dhawan. Mr. Vikram Dhawan is joining us online, and let me tell you that he has been online for quite some time now, waiting for the session to kick off. So I leave this session in the hands of Harshal. Have a great time, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you. And before I start this session, I would just like to give a brief overview of India's investment landscape. As we know, India is one of the largest consumers of silver in the world, and we are one of the fabricators of silver where we are the largest. And in terms of physical investment demand, India is the second largest physical investment market in the world. So, just to give you a backdrop in terms of just setting the tone for the discussion, India, as I said, is the second largest market globally, after the US in the investment demand. And last year we saw close to 2,500 tons of bars and coins, which is classified retail investment, that was sold in India. And of course, we had the steep drawdown during the pandemic, and there is a lot of potential here as well, because if you see levels in 2014, 2015 when Indian physical investment was a record high, there is still a lot of scope for Indian investment demand to grow as we go ahead. And in terms of the split, in terms of bars and coins, we see bars again, majority of Indian investment happens in silver bars, more than 85% market share in the bars. And the coin market again, although small in size, it is seeing very fast growth over the last couple of years. We've seen coin sales growing, and a new entrant in the Indian investment space has been the launch of ETFs. We've seen gold ETFs being present in India, for quite a lot of years. Silver ETFs were launched, just a year and a half ago, and based on the AUM of the funds that we see, these are the estimated holdings that we see in Indian silver ETFs. So at the moment, our estimate is that all ETFs combined in India hold close to 250 tons of silver. And I'll call upon Rajiv to give you a brief talk about the digital market, because that is again something that has picked up in India over the last 2-3 years. We've seen a lot of players entering the digital gold and digital silver space. And before we get on to a discussion, one by one, I would like to call each one of them to just give a brief background in terms of what their products are and what their offerings are. So Rajiv, please.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Rajiv, I am the business lead for ebullion Private Limited, which is a digital investment platform for precious metal. And the company has been backed up on, the promoters being similar for Hindustan Platinum and ebullion, which is precisely a company which is running a digital investment platform. So before Harshal has been kind enough to give me a time to show you our product also. But before that, I'll run you through a presentation which I have made on the digital silver per se. How is it today? Where do we see the potential, and what's the roadmap for the digital silver? So digital silver is all about bringing the shine to the physical silver. So many people have met, what is digital silver? It's nothing, it's the physical silver itself. When we talk about digital silver, it's just the way in which you procure or you store, or the way in which you transact for a physical silver. Now before we go for that, what are the intrinsic value we see with silver? It has a store of value, which is affordability is one of the aspects, especially when you see the hinterland people, they are very keen about silver because of its low entry cost. The exchange of value, wherein yesterday also one of the panelists talked about that we were the first one in 1800 before Christ. We had silver, and we had our first coin 600 BC. And that's the time when we started minting silver coins. That's the story about Indian silver love. And I also remember our MC talking about yesterday that silver is always in a wife and gold is always considered as in a girlfriend. So we have use of silver in industries, as where you see we have using it as a silverware or in solar panels. A lot of industry use what we have. And investment per se, portfolio diversification, wherein you have a steady appreciation, but yes, it's a very volatile product and it's a high risk product. Now, what are the challenges we face when we talk about store of value? Silver storage is a big challenge. When you talk about a small quantity, there's no problem, but when you talk about a big investment, big silver quantity storage is really a challenge. Not only storage, you have physical holding becomes a bit of challenge when you have a risk of theft and several other storage area issues. And in terms of exchange of value, the embedded value of silver is never achieved for an exchange in goods and services. ETFs have done a good job, but when you go to the numbers, out of 9,000 tons of silver imported last year, ETF did, as Harshal also pointed out, 250 tons. And MCX gold exchange were around 100 tons. So still, that what you see, the delta is 250 plus 100, 350. So 8,650 still in the physical format, out of which around 50 to 60% in the industrial use and remaining is still lying with someone in the physical storage. Especially when you see ETF, it is primarily driven by a person having knowledge about trade, one, a person having experience and exposure in precious metals trading. Also, in addition to it, the most important aspect for ETF, which is the mandate, is for you to have a demat account, which means if I was going through the survey on ETF, there are only 30 cities which people from 30 cities which is tier 1 primarily, are investing in ETFs. So the unserved market is tier 2, tier 3 and rural. That's where the digital silver will bring in a lot of value add in terms of investment. I'll be covering that in the next slide. So digital silver is exactly an asset, what an asset does. So it's nothing like you have something on paper. Digital silver is always backed by physical silver. It's only the mode and the medium by which you procure and store that silver. What silver does, what digital silver does is that it provides you a 24/7 liquidity, which in terms of physical silver, the challenge what you see is, one is whenever you buy, there will be a minting charge attached, and then when you sell, there will be a melting charge attached. When you come to digital platforms for investment, there will be no such charge associated even at the time of procurement or at the time of sale. It will be very transparent pricing mechanism. Apart from that, the pricing for digital silver is 24/7 available. wherein in physical, after 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, we find it difficult for anybody to buy. So we provide 24/7 liquidity. It is securely stored. When I say securely stored, there are vaults. We have, I have seen two big vault companies here, SQL and Brains. So majority of the players, digital players, use either SQL or Brains to store the metal, and it is insured. So you don't have a hassle to store everything at your place. You can do big investment. Storage is being taken care at a third-party vault, which certifies and insures and tells you that this is an X amount of metal which we are holding for you in that particular vault. The most important aspect, which wherein we bring in governance, it's not that paper what we sell. Metal is back physically. Second, your money. Your money when it comes to the platform is through an escrow account mechanism, wherein a bank, a regulated entity is there in place. You pay money there, you buy at a price, the money gets into an escrow account. Now I am a party which is a digital platform. How do you get insurance that yes, your product is there in vault? So the vault receipt will be given to you. The vault will give you a certificate that an X amount of silver is lying with them with a particular bar number tagged to it in a particular vault, whether it's Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Calcutta, wherever it is. So you will get that particular certificate from the vault. So it's not only the, so the checks are bank in place. Second is our governance, the digital platform governance in place. Third is a third party vault. So in our case with ebullion it is SQL, which is again an LBM accredited vault. So that's where we are providing this sort of governance to ensure that there is a complete clarity and visibility on your purchase of precious metal or digital silver, whatever you do on our platform. Now the most important aspect which has evolved in last, I would say, with this tech coming in, with fintech, agri-tech, edu-tech and all, micro savings. Earlier, if I used to buy, if I had to go and buy a physical silver, the minimum is a gram, I would say, or 10 grams, 50 grams, and I have to go and pay and get that coin in my hand. Bars, as an individual in a B2C market, has not been so traditionally good. Yes, in B2B, in small, big home offices, people were preferring that, but again, storage was an issue. When it comes to an individual, we are talking about you can start buying at rupee 100, which is $1.50, I would say. You could buy a precious metal or a digital metal worth that amount, and you can start accumulating as a systematic investment plan, or whenever, whatever amount you want, that particular quantity of digital silver will be allocated to you. It's not necessary that you have to buy a gram. You can buy a 0.167 gram also. Okay, and that particular metal will be there stored in your name in a particular block with the wallet, and a certificate will be issued to you by the wallet. Then in purity. So as I said, our principles are Hindustan Platinum. We are LBMA, Learning Delivery for silver, platinum, and palladium. So whatever we sell is minimum for silver is 999, but you would have seen our blocks outside. It's minimum 9999, and that's the purity we confirm to you, being a Learning Delivery service partner for us. Exchange of value. What happens when you buy a digital silver? You can buy anything. It's based on the platform, what services they provide to you. One is that 24/7, you can get it liquidated, you can get your money back. In our case, in ebullion, if you invest, we have a 24 hours lock-in because we don't want to promote trading. So in our case, we are putting the money locked for 24 hours. You cannot metal lock for 24 hours. After 24 hours, at midnight, at 2 a.m. in the morning, whenever you want, you can sell it and you can get your money instantly in your account. So that's the liquidity we are providing, and some platforms in digital give you an opportunity to exchange it with the coin, take delivery. We are also going to come up with the delivery models. Some have tied with jewelry partners wherein you can buy jewelry exchanging the metal value what you have. And with this, you would have seen a lot of people coming into the market, the fintech players like Google Pay, Phone Pay, which are now selling digital gold, silver, because of this evolution of the new tech-driven bullion market. So I proudly say that, we have seen edutech, we have seen fintech. This is the era of bull tech, which is bullion technology. So what's the roadmap ahead? As I said, when you invest in ETF or when you invest through MCX, there are certain, it's good also, and there are certain challenges also when there is a restriction of people using it. We are bringing metal on your mobile phone. You can buy metal on your mobile phone, on your digital device, iPad, laptop, wherever it is. You don't have to open any account with any of the regulated entities, or you just need a bank account, your PAN card, Aadhaar card, as a KYC document, and yes, you are good to go. Which means it gives me a huge potential to tap the unserved, which is rural areas, tier 2, tier 3 cities, where people can very easily go on such platforms and do investment, micro investments, whatever the volume that they're looking at, they can do investment on such platforms. So the next one is on the bullion tech, which is, I told you, I already touched that. The biggest revolution which is coming up is on the open network and digital commerce. This is recently being put by DPIIT, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, wherein all such players will, it's an open federated platform wherein you can go and you can operate on such platform. Securing metal, always based on the governance what we have, and the tax friendly investment. Recently there is a tax restructuring, so physical precious metal investments have been still being put under the benefit of long-term capital gain, and you can take the benefit of indexation. So I think we are done with the presentation. I'll just quickly show you our app, which will give you an idea how we are operating and how is our platform. www.ebullion.in, that's our, you will see the live prices coming in. That's where you create your own account, and you could buy metal and sell metal. Silver pricing you can see there. You can put in an amount you want to buy, put in 100 there, in the amount in rupee. You could see that you could buy silver, which is 0.0157 gram. Similar for sale, you will get a pricing. You have your wallet, you have your full passbook in place. You can see all your transactions, how much you have bought, how much is, you have sold, everything will come in the passbook. Your wallet, this will give you the upload of the money. You can, it is integrated with all the banking financial systems what we have for the upload of the wallet. Similarly, when you sell, you will immediately get your wallet topped up and you can withdraw money from that. So thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to showcase, and I'm sorry I think no problem. Thanks.
I'll invite Mr. Rajesh now to just give a brief introduction.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor and privilege to be here on stage. First time for me to speak on this platform. It's a very good initiative to promote silver as well, like other platforms for gold. Myself from Kundan Group, we are started from last 2 decades. Kundan Group has come into this industry with importing dore from refining and manufacturing into kg bars, and then supplying to Pan India Group distribution channel with the help of logistic partners, brakes and seafood. From last 10 years, we saw that market has a potential of buying coins as well, And we saw there was unorganized market which are selling a lot of denominations of coins in lesser purity. And what we thought we should go and study more, and we started our manufacturing of coins as well in gold and silver. We maintain the purity. When Kundan comes, people know that they have purity higher standards. We are manufacturing 9.9% of purity coins, starting from 5 grams onwards to 1 kg bar. Coins, normally people have it in India, have a satisfaction of buying a physical product and keep it with them. That is more satisfying than my friend was saying as a digital. My opinion is this. Rest, all occasions are covered with some or other gifting patterns. So one of this is silver is very effective product to gift. Anything which is gifted is at the end it is invested with the customer. We don't see anything more than 1% of return or exchange coming back in form of coins. And once you buy a pure coin, you have a satisfaction. Once you go back or exchange or encashment, you get full value. So this way we have covered pan India. We're working with in 12 states with more than 200 cities. And as gradually the session goes on, I will catch up more topics on further how we have enhanced results.
Thank you, Rajesh. And now I would like to, invite Vikram, who's a veteran in the ETF, participant of the ETF space. He heads one of the largest gold and silver ETFs in India. Vikram, please, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, and I'm so sorry I could not be there in person. I mean, only excuse I can give is कि silver is जो है वो एक green metal है, तो मैं अपना carbon footprint कम कर रहा था fly नहीं करके वहाँ से. Anyway, I was just kidding about that. देखिए, if you allow me, can I use a combination of Hindi and English? Is it okay with you, sir? Okay. So देखिए, 2-4 चीजें मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा सिल्वर ETF के बारे में. The notion कि I am not trying to advertise for the mutual fund industry, but having said that, मैं काफी conferences attend करता हूँ, and there are a lot of things which I have heard about mutual funds, and I would like to clarify certain things, certain misconceptions and notions which are there with people with regards to mutual funds. First of all, when you talk about demat accounts, yes, for ETF you need demat accounts, but if you are buying it directly from the fund house, we also have a silver fund of a savings fund, and we also have a gold fund. If you come directly to us, you don't need a demat account. So one thing you please remember, that if you don't have a demat account, you can still come and buy silver ETF from us, because we have a fund which is called a silver fund, which is nothing but it invests into underlying silver ETF units. That is one thing. Now, as far as the size of the ETF is concerned, again there is a misnomer. People think that if you want to buy gold or silver ETF, then you have to put in a lot of money. हमारा one unit of gold is 51 rupees, 52 rupees, and silver ka unit is about 74, 75 rupees. So you can buy as little as 1 unit, which is 75 rupees or 50 rupees, as the case may be. Secondly, we all our money, all the money that we have, either we have worked hard for it or somebody has worked hard for it, so it should be safe. And that is where the safety thing is very important. The most important thing is that we are mutual fund, or rather the silver ETFs are the only products, investment products, which are regulated, completely regulated. Now, what does regulation mean? Regulation means that tomorrow, if you have suppose if you buy units of Nippon ETF, if you have any complaints, if there is something that we should not be doing, then we are forced. We have the pledge to make it good to you, and that is where SEBI will ensure that we perform our duty as far as the safety and security of your fund is concerned. So, safety is one thing, we are regulated. And देखिए सबसे बड़ी बात ये है, today you buy silver and gold in any form, I don't want to name it whether it is digital or physical. If there is any sort of problem, or if there any sort of agreement between the buyer and seller, you have to go take legal action and everything. That is not the case with the mutual fund industry. 99.9% cases, 99.9% of the complaints are actually sorted out because SEBI has a guideline कि अगर ऐसा हुआ तो ऐसा होगा, वैसा होगा तो वैसा होगा. So unless you are very unlucky, 99.9%, if you have any issue with any of the ETFs in the market, it will be sorted out automatically. You don't have to go to a court or file a police complaint and all those things. So it is your money and it is safe with the mutual funds, with the custodian, which is completely regulated by SEBI. SEBI is like RBI. RBI regulates banks and we are regulated by SEBI. The other thing is about the digital aspect of it. See, today every fund house has got a digital app. You can buy silver or gold or equity or debt or whatever. You just download app. I'm not saying you download my app, but you download any app of any mutual fund. You can buy anything from the app, and it is very, very convenient. I mean, today, even for my personal investments, I never go to a desktop or a PC or call my broker. I just use it, to even investing in my own funds. I use the digital app. So I think as far as the ease is concerned, there is not much difference between mutual funds and the other, other avenues that you have of buying silver. Now, the most important thing, safety ho gaya, but what is expenses? Today, because of our size, and R means the industry size and the competition, our rates are very competitive. So for instance, I'm not allowed by SEBI regulations to, give you data online, but I think you should go and Google what is the annual expense of holding silver ETF in your portfolio. Please Google and see, and you will find out, and compare it with the other this thing. Secondly, the impact cost. Whenever you buy anything, buying, selling mein kitna aapka spread rehta hai, that is very, very important. Now, in case of mutual funds, especially in case of gold, silver ETF and gold ETF, silver ETF is relatively new, but still, if you see the impact cost of buying and selling that, it is again, I cannot by the regulation say that we are the best, but just have a look at it before you make a decision. And that is also because of the competition, the expense ratios, the impact cost. So this is one industry which is, geared. Our survival depends upon giving you the best possible service with least expensive and the maximum safety. So that is where, I think you need to, again, I'm not making it a sales call, but, that is something that you need to keep in mind. I'm not saying you don't buy physical silver or, obviously, you need to buy jewelry, isn't it? You need to buy ornaments. They look better than a silver ETF sitting in your demat account. Buy everything. But when you are investing your hard-earned money for returns, for safety, for security, and for paying the least expenses, I think silver ETFs as of now, and not only over here, all over the world, if you see whether it is gold or silver, today, silver ETF AUM globally is about, so we are at 250, but whereas the global AUM is about 24,000 tons. So there must be something good in the silver ETF, why it is the most preferred way to invest into silver. Similarly, for gold, it's roughly about 2,900 tons. So these I would say these products have been the best investments of this century. The best invention of this century. Why? Because you can buy, although the underlying may be a 1 kg bar or a 12.5 kg bar or a 30 kg bar, but you can buy as little as 1 gram or even less than 1 gram without getting penalized for the liquidities and the spread. So I'll rest my case here and probably take it further. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vikram, for the great introduction. So, let me start by playing the devil's advocate straight away. And, I'll request all of you to answer these questions by turn. Starting with you, Vikram, and also Rajiv after that. If you look at the products, ETFs or digital, on paper, again, wonderful products, safety, no issues of storage, transaction costs. And, as an investor, if I'm on paper comparing the products, of course, there are a lot of benefits of investing in products. But when I look at the actual market data in terms of, the amount of investments happening in these products, something tells me that is very different, or maybe there is a need of more awareness for these products. So for example, in digital silver, I mean, there are a lot of companies offering it over the last 2 years, but the combined AUM, as per our estimate, is less than 10 tons. ETFs, as you said, 250 tons, but if you compare it to our overall investment demand, it's roughly around 10% of India's annual investment demand. So what do you think? Is it that the consumer is very different? Are you not really fighting for the same space, or what is it according to you?
So I think you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, and this is something which I say in every conference, that we are one of the largest and consumer of gold and silver. Ideally, we should be sitting at the pinnacle of everything, whether it is price discovery or AUMs and everything. And today, if you look at our gold and silver ETF AUMs, silver, they are less than 2% of the globally AUMs. Now, why it has happened? There are 2-3 reasons for that. First of all, the biggest thing is that there is we have not actually, and I think we are to be blamed for that also, mutual fund industry, we have not actually articulated the benefits of this product to the industry and the country. I mean, I'll give you an example. At the peak of COVID, everything was looking as if world is going to come to an end. A lot of money flowed into gold and silver ETF. And then we know what happened after that. A lot of money flowed out also. So in North America alone, roughly about 500 tons of gold flew out of, these ETFs, and roughly about few thousand tons of silver flew out of ETF. So what is it telling us? That, today we are a physical market. Whatever is sold, it disappears. It is not into circulation. There is no financialization. So tomorrow, even if somebody, suppose, let us say tomorrow, I'm not saying that gold is going to end, but something bad happens and gold prices go to whatever, 70,000, 80,000, silver prices go to 1 lakh, whatever it is. It is very difficult to monetize the physical silver that you have, because, time is of the essence. I mean, these are markets which timing is very important. So I think from the overall country perspective, we have not actually, succeeded, or maybe it is still work in progress, where we have not realized the benefit of, financialization of, gold and silver. The biggest example is, you look at the stock market and the debt market. Once everything got financialized, eventually what happened? The liquidity increased, the cost of funds came down. Today, so many companies are able to raise money. And this is what I say, once the financialization happens, the borrowing cost of the silver and gold industry will go down dramatically. So that is something which has to be taken at a very highest FX level in the country. Secondly, yes, we are predominantly a physical market. And also, I think this market has not been very well served as far as investment is concerned, because, obviously we are a fast growing country, and equity and debt, we are like in a movie, there is a hero, there is a side hero, and there is, we are still being considered as to be somebody who has just shown up in the movie. But I think this will change, and this has changed, and this conference would not have been at a very right moment, because now in today's scenario, whatever happens in the future, gold and silver are very different right now. They are not just commodities. They have a very different sort of hue, and a very different sort of, interest and investment objective. Let me not, tell you what you already know in terms of geopolitics and finance and de-dollarization, etc. So I think we are very sure that, this could be the pivot. This could be the time when this actually takes up in a very big way in the country.
Thanks, Vikram. Rajiv, would you like to also answer that?
So, in addition to what Vikramji said, the digital silver is something which is new. Like ETF is also a new concept right now for silver. Similarly, today in the country, the major challenge is people looking in for a look and feel of something what they buy. Okay, this is one of the challenges, especially when it comes to silver gold. People are used to having coins or jewelry in place. To see something wherein they have put money, something is visible to them in front of them, which they feel that when they will go in the market, they will get a value to it. But in digital, the challenge, as you said, that we are in a very lower band right now, market share. But I do see a huge jump in the market share which will happen on the digital side. Because now people have started understanding digitization of precious metal. You go back around 5 years back, when Paytm and all these fintech were there, we were not able to give our bank account details to them or attach our bank accounts to them, and whatever money in the pocket is supposed to be the money in hand. Nothing. Today, I think I have not used my physical wallet in last 1 month. I have not touched it even. Everything is on my mobile. So similarly, there is a change, as Vikram said, that there is a change, there is a mindset change which has to happen. There is a strong governance has to come into the place. There is a confidence which has to come in the customer. That is, wherever they are investing, it is safe, one. Second, the ownership is intact, and the cost of entry and cost of exit is as low as possible. So I think we are evolving right now, but challenges are there. People are still evaluating on the security part, on the entry cost and the exit cost part. But I think, yes, like how it happens with fintech, with how it happens with the digital wallets, our other avenues where investment happen. Similarly, we'll see around a year's time the market will change.
Thanks, Rajesh. This question is for you now. You have all this competition coming from digital players, but again, majority of silver investment demand is physical. But it is also possible that, as been mentioned before, that 64% of our population is below the age of 35. So millennials, they increasingly invest through very different ways. It is quite possible that at this age, a lot of them do not have that investable surplus, and when that happens, probably more flows will go into these products. So how do you see that as a challenge for you, and what do you think is the Indian consumer that you've seen over your experience over the last decade?
Metal you have always here in your mind. It's the highest investment or gifting product which the customer thinks at the first sight. So you have a family which has a planning to buy a product, whether it's a gold or a silver coin. Down the line from 3 to 6 months, they plan how to go and buy this. So until unless you have still a liking of investing or buying a product physically and gifting it to someone you want to invest in. So it will still take time for digitalization to take over as physical products, because you see there are a lot of end retailers who are selling full market is full of end retailers, jewelers and other buyers coming into market and buying products physically and enjoying that purchase. Still, whether it's jewelry or it's coins, people preferably go to buy from market with their reliable jeweler. Or today there are a lot of brands coming in and you have assurance of purity of buying a product. So still I see there will be a gap, but yes, people are buying online as well. There are platforms like Amazon, Flipkart and other e-commerce sites which are selling at very higher pace. We are growing with the number around 30-35% per year in silver coins, and we are selling more silver than gold numbers in coins. So this will always be there, and the reason behind it's more affordable product. Gold has grown so much faster in terms of pricing, and as well silver also, but still you buy a silver 1 kg around 75,000 per kg. So there will always be a difference, little difference in that.
Okay, thanks. Coming back to you, Vikram, now when you speak out of the challenges that some of these platforms face. So for an ETF, for example, when you see in the physical market, sometimes there are very persistent discounts in the market when you would buy silver, and an Indian consumer would typically compare prices, in a lot of places before they go to buy. So, how does an ETF deal with those challenges when sometimes the physical market is, say, trading at a 4% discount, and if compared to how an ETF would price itself?
No, that's a very valid question, and I think we silver ETFs, as per SEBI's mandate, have to be backed by physical silver, and these are all LBMA good delivery bars. I mean, there is no negotiation on that. We have to, and besides that, also we have to ensure the best standards. Even if they're LBMA, we have to ensure that they are best of the lots. Now, since we are a physical backed fund, our ETF price will track the local spot market, whether it is gold or silver. If silver is trading at 2% discount, our ETF will also trade at 2% discount. Otherwise, it will give an arbitrage opportunity to the dealers. And I know Indians are very smart. Even if there is a 25 basis point arbitrage available between a financial product and a physical product, they will exploit it. So we are actually, if you really ask me, in absence of a spot exchange in India, we are actually a de facto spot, listed spot. So, I mean, again, the thing is that you may have discounts and premiums depending upon any value addition. We have basic bars, so we are a representation of the spot which is trading. So if, let us say, tomorrow this spot is trading 2% premium to LBMA, we'll be at 2% premium. If we are at 2% discount, we will be at LBMA. The physical market, the ETFs also will be trading at a 2% discount. Not only us, but every ETF. That is how it works.
Thanks. Coming to you, Rajiv, same question to you as well in terms of, in terms of pricing, how do you compete with the physical market? And when I say physical market, again, as Vikram pointed, sometimes there are two different prices in the physical market as well. There is a cash price, which is again far lower, and silver investment when it is sort of in a lower denomination, sometimes, a lot of buying happens through cash as well, so the pricing is very different. And the other question, because as a digital player, I know you have all your internal checks and balances in terms of, how the process takes place, but there is still a regulatory vacuum when it comes to digital, gold and silver products. So do you see that as a challenge also for your product?
So I'll answer the first one, wherein you said that how do we ensure that we have a competitive pricing on our platform? So as a digital platform, we get feed from international pricing from service providers, which is through various marketplaces, and we get this prices real time, and then we convert it with our custom duty and the local premium and the margins what we have. We have a real time pricing right now, and I compare it with the physical side in pricing. Physical always has a minting, or when we go for even for a casted bar or for a minted bar, there is a little amount of overhead attached in terms of the minting or custom charge. And when you go and when you sell it off also, there is a premium attached for wherein the liquidity is an aspect. Now, when I come to your second point of the question, where you said, how do I
mean, in terms of regulation, for example, ETFs are governed by SEBI. For digital players, there is no sort of a regulatory body, officially overlooking whether it's the RBI or SEBI. And historically, we've seen, I've not named the exchange. There was a spot exchange in India which went bust. It was offering e-gold, e-silver, and all of that. And given that backdrop, do you see that also as a challenge, the absence of proper regulations in this space?
So till the time regulation is good, it brings in confidence, it brings in a lot of rules and procedures in place to ensure the safety and security of a particular financial product is there. But considering digital asset, this is a different asset class right now. I classify it as a different asset class. One like ETFs, physical gold, physical silver. This is another asset class where you invest in a digital silver or gold. Now when it comes to regulation, right now there is no clarity on the regulation part, but governance plays a big role here. You know, the company ethics and the governance plays a bigger role here. How you are being tightly coupled with various mechanism of taking the payments, storage of physical code, sell what you have, you know, in your wallet. All these and the transparency to the customer. As I told you when I was giving my presentation, that we have third-party wallets which ensures that, you know, the metal what we have sold is actually there in the wallet. You know, we have a bank which doesn't pay me back unless and until the wallet confirms that yes, the metal has been allocated to a particular customer. So till the time regulation doesn't come in, the governance is going to be a big player. And honestly speaking, I see that as an opportunity, you know, for a growth in the industry. Yes, trust factor will take some time from a customer perspective to be built. But the more we are transparent, the more we are ethical in our business, we definitely see a lot of opportunities and growth.
Thanks. You know, Rajesh, for you as well, in terms of, you know, there are of course challenges with the digital medium, but you know, as we discussed in jewelry and silverware discussions as well, there is a lot of concern about purity when it comes to physical bars and coins sold in India as well. So, you know, I'm sure hallmarking regulation for bullion is also coming, you know, somewhere down the line. But how do you see this? You know, as consumers become more aware, do you see this as an opportunity as a big refiner, you know, to address this, or do you see that, you know, consumer mistrust that builds up over a period of time that could also negatively impact, you know, physical, you know, bar and coin sales as well?
We are very happy and very lucky to maintain our purity, and this is one big plus point for us to maintain our purity in coins and generate customers trust. We do educate our customers through our social media like WhatsApp posts, Insta posts, as well our nearby competitors. They are also educating our customers to buy pure silver. People are buying from local jewelers or unorganized market, and later on when they are coming back, they have a mistrust of purity that they haven't bought. So ultimately, customer comes back to a brand or a regular refinery product. Now, most of the time you see during festivals, during Diwali or Akshaya Tritiya, they cover 60% of the entire our sales and 40% to rest of the months. So during that, we are unable to provide to meet our demand. We always thought of during Diwali and Akshaya Tritiya. This year, though it was Akshaya Tritiya was very tough, prices certainly went up, and there was a difference of cash and actual rate. But still, we did good numbers. And we are hoping that people get, there should be some regulatory body to check on the purities, and we shouldn't lose our customers' trust, because they buy, they want the value for money, and if it goes for 100 rupees to buy and get later on 60% of that value, that mistrust always generates.
Okay, great. You know, coming to, you know, you mentioned coin sales have been doing very well, and you know, this is one thing that you know, I've noticed in India. You know, most of the coins are used for gifting. You know, they're not really bought for investment as such. So, is there space for you know, like you see in global markets, you know, commemorative coins or collectibles? You know, yesterday I was speaking to the India government, and they also launched an India silver coin in that sense. So, you as a refiner, you think there is a market for that in India?
Yeah, definitely. Smaller denominations are for gifting, and we see from 5 gram onwards to 30 or 40 grams, or maybe 50 grams, people buy for gifting. Even corporates are also coming up very aggressively in giving away their gifts to their companies or employees in terms of silver coins, getting customized coins with their names on the back side or front side, whatever, with customized certi cards, with customized packagings. People are interested in buying silver coins. So, and above 50 grams, when it comes to 100 grams, 250 grams, 500 grams, 1 kg, these products are used for as an investment purpose. People keep buying and keep it with them, and later on, whenever they want, they can sell and always exchange towards jewelry or whatever they want. They want silverware, they want jewelry, whatever. But we see good numbers coming up in 1 kg bars from last 2 to 3 years. People have bought a lot of casted bars and this vintage bars for investment purposes.
Thanks. So before I allow them to give final comments, I would like to open up the floor for questions from the audience, please.
I've actually got 2 questions. One for Rajiv, if I can ask 2 questions. One for Rajiv and one for Vikram. Rajiv, look at digital gold silver market, right? Has been digital gold probably has been existing for last 7-8 years, right? The market has been roughly about 8-9 tons. You look at digital silver market is about 10 tons, right? One of the things that obviously digital is competing against the physical market. But how do you, according to me, one of the issues which is there while Harshal spoke about regulation and all, is the wide bid and ask spread, right? It's roughly 3.5%. Then essentially you are competing against smaller denominated bullion products. Don't you think having such a wide bid and ask spread hampers the growth in the market?
See, we have our pricing based on the international market, okay, and the international market acts on a particular bid and ask spread, like wherever we buy, even through our principal, this gap will be there. Now, in terms of whether that is impacting us,
I'm saying this is more on a general point of view for the industry. Every app has got 3%, 3.5%.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Rajesh, you can say that the spread in the physical market is not 3.5%.
So, but I think part of the gap is also because of the GST implication. I think.
No, this is outside the GST.
Yeah. So what happens is that when you have a pricing through an international fee, we always have to bid and ask because we have certain margins attached to it, right? One. Second, I don't see it as a hindrance to our business because this is never a short-term investment. Silver, gold, bullion is never a short-term investment. It is always a mid-term investment for long-term. So that probably if it doesn't, if it's not too much volatile, that is being covered in a short duration of time. But yes, I do agree that this really impacts us. It is impacting us. And because this 3% spread plus with 3% GST, so a person buys at 100 rupees, he sees immediately 94 rupees as his market value. So that is a challenge for us. But I'll add upon one thing. When you said physical, today digital is, sir already told that there are a lot of companies which are helping them to sell their coins. It's all technology driven right now. So even his business, he himself accepted that more of a technology driven business is coming on in bullion also. So I see as a lot of opportunity here right now. Even for coins, and you can buy in digital format and then you can redeem it in a coin format. So I see as an enabler for their business. I don't see as a hindrance to their business or competition. I'm an enabler to their business.
Thanks. Vikram, you made an interesting comment. You said, that probably, the ETFs have not been able to articulate it well, and this actually got articulated well to the investor. But ETFs have been in existence in India for 15 years, right? Gold ETF size is roughly 30 to 40 tons, silver like 250. So is it that a product which has been in existence for 15 years, and then to say that that has not been articulated well to the consumer, isn't that a bit of difficult to digest? Because is it that the focus is towards a different, and probably the consumer, I would say, positioning has to change.
See, that's a very valid question. See, unfortunately, equity market is the Bollywood and we are the art. Not many people write about us. And I don't get invited to as many conferences as my life in next management does. Now, you asked a very relevant question about the bid and ask spread. Now, that is the reason I said that why gold and silver ETFs are the best invention in the financial sector of the century. Because the liquidity in the ETF units, as per design, will be always significantly superior than the underlying physical market. Plus, there is the incidence of GST or you can buy my ETF units. Now, I can wager a bet how many people would know it in the market. Not many. Maybe you know it, you are following the market. But this kind of, and unfortunately, none of this gets written in the tabloid press, in the main press. It comes in a small section. So that is a big disservice that is, people name the media, but they also have their own, KPIs and commercial, this thing. But I guess awareness, which is very strange that, every gathering which I address, there are at least 3 out of 5 or 3 out of 10 people who are not aware about this aspect. So I think it is still a work in progress, unfortunately.
Thanks. Are there any other questions from the audience? If not, then I'll take this opportunity to thank all my guest members. And sometimes funny in India, in all the panels we've talking about marketing more and creating more awareness. And if you look at India is the largest silver consumer in the world, and we are still talking about challenges with marketing and stuff. So it's funny also, but it also speaks of the potential that sort of India presents. So on that note, thank you to everyone for being a patient audience. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Harshal, for steering this panel so interestingly. Thank you to each one of the speakers. I think a huge round of applause to Mr. Dhawan, who was literally the first one to join us even before the panel began. Thank you for your time. Can you please give him a resounding round of applause for that huge rehearsal. Thank you so much, sir. And with this, I'd like